For more than 20 years, CTV has captured the moments that matter in our community. From our studios in St. Clair, you're watching Focus with Paul Dingeman.
Okay, I'm going to count down and just keep rolling. Are you recording? I just want to make sure you're recording. This is your first time, second time. All right, 5, 4, 3. Well, welcome to another edition of the Focus program. Paul Dingeman is the name. We are glad you are here. Got a special guest called Deb Johnson along today. And then at the end of the program, we're going to talk about a friend by the name of Thomas B. Shorkey, who did a great show here on this channel called Conversations. Tom left us this last week. We'll talk about that in a minute, but let's begin with a friend by the name of Deb Johnson. Welcome back. Nice to see you.
It's always good to see you, Paul.
Well, that's nice. That's nice. Thank you. You got a lot of stuff on the plate. You get stuff every month that's important, but this particular month, the first item is suicide, and we're going to talk briefly about that, and we're going to go into some other subjects. Oh, National Recovery Month.
Yes, it's National Recovery Month. So the purpose of National Recovery Month is to raise awareness and you know, have people bring their attention to people who are living lives in recovery, and the fact that recovery is possible not just from substance use disorders, but also from mental health disorders. And so every year, every September, SAMHSA, which is our federal agency in Washington, Substance Abuse Mental Health Services Healthcare Administration, they recognize September as a recovery month. And so there's a lot of different things that we do during the month. One of the biggest things is we try to educate people about recovery, because we believe at Community Mental Health that you can recover. You know, people used to just say, well, maybe it's possible. Well, we think it's more than possible, it's probable.
You see it every day.
We see it with good treatment and people following through and support systems. It happens all the time, and so we want to kind of shine the light on that during this month. And one of the things that we're doing, which you might have it for later, but we have a recovery summit going on all month long. We have a number of trainings, webinars. They're all virtual, and even though you can do some things in person right now, it really worked well for us because we had over 500 people attend the webinars last year. And so this year we have good attendance so far at all of them because we offer free continuing ed credits, free continuing the CMEs that doctors need and healthcare professionals, and then there's a variety of other acronyms for the credits that people need for their licenses and things like that. So there's a lot of them, and I know you're going to flash up our flyer at some point. And there's even a QR code on the flyer. If people just scan the QR code, all the upcoming events will come up. You can register for whatever ones you want, as many as you want, and it's all free.
So you don't have to get in your car and drive to anywhere to get these credits. You can do them from your office or your home or wherever.
Your phone, your computer, wherever you are.
Yeah, that's super.
Yeah.
Okay. Alrighty, so that's part of National Recovery Month and training too, which we'll get to in a minute. We do have a fellow by the name of Mike McCartan just called and said he's going to come in next month and talk to us about this suicide prevention. Is that right?
Yes, and he's going to talk about the Walk to Remember, Walk to Prevent, which is Sunday, October 10th at East China Park. And I know he'll give you more details, but you know, save the date. You're hearing about it now, so you got plenty of time. But that is a walk that raises awareness about suicide, suicide prevention. There's a lot of resources that are offered that day, and it's also just a really, it's a nice event. It's a moving event for people who have lost somebody by death by suicide. And so it's a great event. It's been going on for a number of years, and we hope that people will go. I think it's that, you know, Pastor Max, he did retire. Do you know him, Max Stotz?
No.
I don't know if I say his last name right, but anyways, he's great. He does a great job. He does a talk at the beginning. Mike usually talks, and some other people, and it really is a good event. And more information to follow, but you can also go on our website, the CMH website, Facebook, the Community Service Coordinating Body website, Facebook, all those things, and it's advertised all over the place.
Okay. Let's get into some of the events that are coming up. The first one is, and Dean will throw that slide up, Recovery Summit, and talk to me about that. It's as we said at the beginning of the show, September is National Recovery Month, and you've got stuff coming up. What's going on?
Oh yeah, so good. So he, I don't know if you can see the QR code on the TV, but you can go online and you can get that same flyer. You can get the QR code. But there's just so many different sessions altogether. I think we have about 20 during the month.
Wow.
We started on September 2nd. There are some going on today. So if you go look on there, it's every Thursday in September, 9 a.m., 11 a.m., and 2 p.m. So today's I don't know what time this is going to air.
Right.
So actually today's is over. But there's a couple more Thursdays left. So we hope people will check it out.
Okay. The next one is and you're wearing the button, one roof, 1 week, one cause. I love that. And it's the roof sit for kids. What's it all about?
That is the biggest fundraising event sponsored by the St. Clair County Child Abuse Neglect Council, and we call it not only to raise funds but awareness about child abuse and prevention of child abuse, preferably. And so all week long, the disc jockey from Q Country 107, which is Matt, gets up on the roof. And there'll be guests throughout the week, and they give facts about child abuse and neglect in our community. And one of the things the Child Abuse and Neglect Council does, besides all the prevention education, and I know you know our educator, which is Lindsay Chop.
Right.
She does an amazing job with those programs.
Amazing woman.
She is, and new school board member, East China.
Yes, yes.
And anyways, so she does all those, but besides that, we also have another component where they do forensic interviewing of the kids who are alleged victims of sexual abuse. And that, unfortunately, they've been busier these days. During COVID, it kind of slowed down, but probably because of underreporting, not because it wasn't going on. And now it's increasing again. So that's obviously an important thing. And the reason that the forensic interview process is so good is that child only has to be interviewed one time instead of in the old days, by multiple different people. So this happens one time by a trained interviewer in a nice warm setting. They also provide some trauma counseling. It's called trauma focused CBT, and some other services for kids who have been victims of abuse.
So you're going to be up on the roof
on Monday, September 13th, and it's been in the past kind of a competition between myself and, in the beginning, Mike McCartan against Tim Donnellan and Mike Wendling, the prosecutor. But obviously we have a new sheriff, Matt King.
New sheriff in town.
New sheriff in town, so he will be there. And Mike had since retired, but this year we're doing it a little different. We're calling it the Rooftop Rally Reunion.
Oh, okay.
And so people who have been instrumental in Roof Sit and in the Child Abuse Neglect Council will join us on that day, hopefully bringing some money. And our goal is to collectively, between all of us, raise more than we raised last year, which was about $65,000, I think, in the day. So Mike McCartan will be visiting us there. Sheriff Tim Donnellan will make an appearance. Chuck Santoni, the former DJ for it. And other people. It will be a fun time, and we just hope to raise a lot of money again.
Well, it's a unique spot to have it. You've got a great view of what's going on in downtown Port Huron.
It is fun there. Top of
It's
Mission
rain or
Neutral.
shine, snow or sleet.
Yep, and there are some tents if it rains or whatever, and it's done that before when we're up there. But if anybody wants to call in pledges, they just call 966-9911, 810, and there will be volunteers answering the phones. And
Good. All right. That's the roof set. That's coming up all next week. And you can go to either at WSAQ or to St. Clair County Community Mental Health for further details on that.
Or the Child Abuse and Neglect Council Facebook. They have it too.
Man-to-Man Health Series.
So we started this series a number of months ago. We started in June because June is Men's Health Month. And we've had a session each month geared towards men to help men have a better understanding of their overall health and well-being.
Men are hesitant so many times to go see a doctor. They're scared of it.
They
are.
are.
Be big, brawny guys that can fight in the ring or do whatever, but they won't go see a doctor.
Right, and so and a lot of them really won't go see a therapist either when they need to.
Right.
So some of the things is there's a lot of like strategies that are being provided for men, but and for example, this month it will be Mike McCartan talking. Here,
He's a busy guy.
He's all over this show
Wait a minute,
today, isn't he?
You told me a few minutes ago he's retired.
I know he is retired, but he's making a guest appearance to do this series for us this one night, and he's talking about communication, and the tagline is you can't not communicate. Like you need to communicate, and sometimes that's a struggle for men too. It's a struggle for women too sometimes. But you need to be able to communicate effectively with people. They know how you feel, what's going on, and a lot of times miscommunication is the cause of all kinds of stuff. So Mike's going to talk about that, and I know you know him well. He's a great communicator. So he's got a lot of good tips and strategies, and he's a good speaker. So it will be a great event. And again, those are free. It's at the Municipal Building in Port Huron.
Thursday the 16th at 6:30 to 8.
Yep. We like an RSVP, but you don't have to.
Okay.
Okay.
The next one's Run for Recovery.
And that is our 5K run and 1 mile walk and 1 mile run for kids. It is October 9th, and that is, oh gosh, is it the end or the beginning of Mental Illness Awareness Week? We moved it because of COVID. It will go back to May next year, but we hope that people will participate in that. It's a little cheaper if you sign up early, so hopefully people will get on there. And if you want, you can specify if you want to be on Team Diane or Team Heather.
Okay.
Heather works in our finance department. Diane's a nurse, and those two are trying to see who can get the most people to sign up for the run or volunteer. That counts on their team, or give $10. That counts on their team. And then there's a prize for the winning team.
How many runners do you get, round figures?
Well, we used to get about 500, but now we haven't. We missed a year with a complete miss. So we don't know.
Okay.
We're hoping for 500.
The next one is Empty Bowls with the wonderful lady that was here last week, Alice Reeves, and Empty Bowls is now having its can't remember
18th annual event. Yeah, and it's going to be this year for the first time ever at the Colonial Woods Missionary Church, which is up on Pine Grove Avenue, September 23rd, from 4:30 to 7 p.m. Tickets are available $25 in advance, $30 at the door. We're also still looking for silent auction items. If people have something they'd like to donate for the auction, they can get a hold of me or Alice. So we're looking for those things. And again, tickets do go up $5 if you wait till the door. And in the event, I'm sure Alice probably addressed this, but if COVID keeps going up and we have to shut down the in-person event, it'll be a drive-through like we did last year. And that actually went really well. I mean, it's not quite as fun, but it's not social, but we gave people still get their cool bowls, and they get the soup that they order. We take their order and then run in and get it and bring it to them.
She was here last week and had a bunch of the bowls, and we showed them. And
they're beautiful.
They do a great job. Deb Johnson, or Deb Maxwell.
Is one of the potters.
Yeah, one of the potters, does great work. Okay, and then that's coming up, and the next one we've got is Taking a Shot at Breast Cancer, another 5K and 2 miles.
Yes, that is October 3rd, and hopefully people will sign up for that. There's also a walk with that included, and all the funds from that go to help support people with breast cancer in our community. The organization provides money to all 3 hospitals for support for breast cancer, people who have breast cancer. So obviously that's a cause near and dear to my heart, so I will definitely be there, rain or shine. And then I don't know if it's on your list of things, but we do have mental health first aid training coming up. And Amy Smith is one of our instructors, along with Adrian Luckenbacher, and there's a number of others, but they do a great job. And we've trained probably over 1,500 people now in our community. It's a free training, it's an 8-hour training, and it's intended for people who, adults who work with adults is one of the trainings, or you can take adults who work with children primarily. So it's good for teachers, coaches,
police officers.
A lot of our law enforcement have been trained in it. And it's really important because it helps you to identify signs and symptoms of mental health issues. Just like if you learn regular, first aid and CPR, you know what to do for the immediate moment that something happens, but you're not a doctor. You're not going to stitch them up or do surgery. You do what you need to do to get them to the care that they need. And so that's kind of what this teaches you, strategies to help
the bleeding.
Yeah, help the person and then help connect them with resources. So it's a great training and it's free. So if anybody's interested, the next training, the adult curriculum is September 29th, and the youth is going to be October 6th, and that information is also on our website and our Facebook.
Okay. I think we got it.
And the last cool thing I want to tell you about is, you and I talked a little bit about it before, but
oh, yeah.
we developed a coaches training. We were requested by staff at East China School District to come up with something to help coaches to identify mental health issues with their athletes. And there's been so much stress on kids, not just athletes, but all kids, because of COVID, because of everything going on. But there's extra stress, I think, sometimes on athletes or kids in extracurricular, because they're trying to keep their grades up, plus they're trying to excel at whatever it is they're doing. So this is a free training available to coaching staff in St. Clair County. It's a video series, so we would actually have somebody come present the first one and give the video if you want, and then we give you the rest of it's a 6-part series. And so it can be done over time, it can be done at home, so it doesn't inconvenience the coaches.
No.
So we hope people are interested.
The coaches are so busy. I mean, we deal with the coaches for the sports that we cover, and to get them to come in and do an interview is almost impossible, because they have day lives, regular lives, either teaching school or a job, and then they're working with the kids 5 and 6, 7 days a week. So.
Right, so we hope that they'll find some time maybe between sports or something, or I don't know. But Adrienne Luckenbacher at our agency is the contact person, but if they forget, they can call and say, want to find out more about the mental health for coaches training, and we will.
Okay, what's that number again?
The main number for mental health is 810-985-8900, but for Adrienne, it's 966-3531, direct to her. But you can just call the main number and ask for Adrienne. Okay. And yeah.
Deb, you're always full of wonderful information that certainly, hopefully, helps people.
Hopefully.
Hopefully, that's what.
That's the goal here.
That's the goal. Okay.
Yep.
Okay. Till next time.
Thank you.
Glad you're here. We'll be back in just a second with a message about Thomas B. Shorkey. Well, as you've probably known by now, a good friend of the community's, Thomas B. Shorkey, passed away this past week. Tom was very instrumental in CTV Channel 6, helped us found it back in the 90s, late 90s, and certainly was a friend throughout the many years after that. If the control room will throw up the page there. This is the watchctv.org internet page, watchctv.org, and there is all of the programs that Tom produced for us under a program title called Conversations, and they were great little interviews, 20 minutes, 30 minutes, a couple of them are an hour or so, and you can see all the names and all the faces there, and you can click on those shows, whichever one you want to review. They'll be up there forever, and we want to thank Tom for his support of CTV. And as you know, he lived his life in Blue Water area here as an educational leader for years. He was a teacher, a principal, a superintendent of East China schools for 12 years. He was distinguished with his ability to really communicate. He touched people. As you see in these interviews, touched people when he was a superintendent, with the students, the parents, and the employee groups. After he retired, he worked for Michigan Association of Boards and did superintendent searches. Then he became superintendent of Royal Oak School District, and then finally the Port Huron School District. And then he became a host of a CTV program called Conversations. And he and I had a great time producing these programs, and they'll be up there to share and to give good memories of Tom for years to come. So we thank Tom, we salute him, and reach out to his family and his wife, and just say thanks for sharing Tom with us. I'm Paul Dingham. Until next time.